Hello, everyone. Welcome back to St. Louis Teens. Today, we are here with Carleigh Berryman, who is the founder and CEO of Viva Vita, an innovative technology organization making virtual reality more accessible and affordable for seniors. Carleigh, we thank you so much for your phenomenal service for our seniors. Carleigh, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and what inspired you to work with virtual reality?
Sure, and thank you, Shri, for having me on. It's a pleasure to be a part of your show today and to speak to your audience of lovely St. Louis teens. So I'd love to tell you a little bit about myself. To start off, I'm actually a native of Oklahoma City. I moved to Washington, D.C. About 4 or 5 years, 5 or 6 years ago, I should say, to pursue my degree at George Washington University. There, I actually studied business and psychology. But I knew that I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I spent most of my life looking for different opportunities um, to make money, to make a business, to build something. And especially as I got closer and closer to graduation of college, I was looking for an opportunity to not only build a business and make money and support myself and my family, but also to try to improve the world that we live in and use this time that I have on our planet to try to better it. So I started with Viva Vita actually, and how I was inspired really to build the business was not through the tech side of virtual reality, but was through my passion for serving seniors and working with geriatric psychologists. So I'd be happy to speak more about that as well. But I'll turn it back over to you, Shri.
And Carleigh, thank you so much. And how did you come across this innovative idea of involving the elderly with virtual reality, which is a combination that to many people is completely unimaginable?
Yeah, that was something that I got a lot when I was pitching the idea in my early days. Was these things don't really mix so well. And for me, it actually started when I began to learn more about geriatric psychology through school. Um, it's just really it was astounding to me how much our elders, the generations came before us, struggle with mental health things like anxiety and depression. And you'd be really heartbroken to hear some of the numbers and the stories around that. But actually, it got a little bit more personal with me, for me, with my own grandmother. To me, she's Granny, but my family and I kind of became aware, especially as I was going through these different psychology classes, that my own grandmother was suffering from some late life depression and symptoms of that. So it became an interest of extreme passion for me, and I knew that I wanted to do something to change this. So virtual reality just happened to be an up and coming tool actually in this space. There were just beginning to be some whispers of it being a great tool for senior care and for healthcare in general. And I just saw an opportunity to solve some of these issues around anxiety and depression by bringing the world to seniors and in a way putting a smile back on their face. So that's always been the goal with what we do here at Viva Vita.
And we're so thankful that you were able to find that opportunity and start Viva Vita and do this incredible work that you're doing now. And I know it can be difficult, but if you had to sort of pick one part about Viva Vita that's your favorite, what would it be?
Yes, I think if I had to pick one thing that really keeps me going and makes me excited to work on Viva Vita every day, it's just really seeing the impact in the real world of what we're working on when we bring virtual reality to seniors and put it in front of them. It's just been incredible to see hundreds of different reactions. And this is a group of people that the world really, or our society, especially in America, we want to believe certain things about this population, but it's so just incredible. It's eye-opening to see this group enthusiastically using technology and more specifically interacting with certain experiences. So for example, just the other day, I was able to test out a new VR experience with one of our communities. And this was a special occasion because, as you may imagine, we haven't been able to do this in many months. But we were trying a meditative virtual reality experience where it kind of teaches the user to use a certain tool to release pain and kind of let go of their pain. And it involves interacting with your virtual environment. So it was very, very heartwarming and encouraging to see the many users in this session actually reaching out and attempting to interact with his environment. And then the feedback afterwards, someone said, that really took my pain away. That was unprompted feedback, but just that, seeing that impact play out is very, very exciting. And like I said, it's what encourages me to work on this every day.
And on that note, can you share with us some of your success stories of the products and people that you have been able to work with, like the one you just mentioned?
Yeah, so I mean, I have dozens of those sorts of stories. Another one that comes to mind is actually in a memory care space, which typically is home to individuals who may be experiencing dementia or living with Alzheimer's. And these groups, they tend to be, at least in my, relatively limited experience, these groups tend to be a little less involved, a little less participatory in the activities, the VR activities we host. But on this particular session, the facilitator had actually left the community, and we got a call from that activities director. And she said, I know our group is a little sleepy sometimes. They don't always participate. They're not always super excited, but you should have heard what people were saying when you left today. We had gone to Japan because one of the residents was actually from Japan. And after we had left, this woman, her name is Chick, she actually grabbed the director by the arm and was like, do you remember when we went to Japan earlier today? That was so beautiful, and it was so nice to be there. And just the fact that it stuck with her like that, even as she, battles or deals with memory loss every day, she was able to kind of pinpoint that out as a moment that meant a lot to her. But beyond these really heartwarming stories, we've had a lot of success stories with our customers of just we are selling directly to these retirement communities, and they are really excited about the way that we do things, the fact that it's so hassle-free, and they are unfortunately working with limited time and limited budget most of the time, and so the fact that we meet their needs is a bit of we've heard a lot of success and good feedback on that end as well.
And the popular belief often is that the elderly are not fluent with technology skills. From your experience, is that true? And how are you navigating that potential hurdle?
Yes, well, this is really a misconception that we need to change. This is not true that technology and seniors don't go together. What we've found is that most of the seniors we work with that I've even outside of my work had the pleasure of meeting, they are really interested in learning something new. They're hungry for it, especially those living in retirement communities who don't get to go into the world and experience it every day. They want something that's different from what they're used to. Besides that, as more and more people are retiring, and as time goes on, different when you and I retire, I mean, we are going to have a pretty good understanding of many different types of tech, and we're already seeing that. I mean, maybe you can relate to this, Sri, but my own grandmother, she likes to use her tablet. She likes to use her Kindle to read, and she has an iPhone. She has a newer iPhone than I do, and she knows how to use it and likes to use it. So seniors are becoming more and more tech savvy, and so this misconception that our society has is not true to begin with, but it's becoming even less true. So you'd be surprised. Sometimes I even have some community residents, they'll say, could you teach us a little bit more of how to use the buttons. Instead of doing it for us, show us, teach us. We want to learn this, so it's very cool.
And I think that that is something in my limited experience that I have witnessed as well. And it's wonderful to see. And I know that St. Louis is home to many retirement communities and seniors. And I see that Viva Vita is serving seniors in several cities on the East Coast. Are you planning on expanding to the Midwest? And if a retirement community or an individual is interested in your products, what is the process to attaining that?
Yes, so we are really excited to be able to reach cities like St. Louis in the near future. Being from the Midwest myself, and I actually was recently made aware of, just something that I didn't know about St. Louis, some of the really interesting parts of it, and the fact that it is an up and coming city for uh, senior care. I was made aware of all of this because my sister actually just started at Washington University last fall. But that aside, so we are now able to reach these users in the Midwest, on the West Coast, and we're really excited to deliver virtual reality to everyone. So to answer your question more directly, we are expanding with not only, as you've mentioned, we've done these in-person sessions in the past, but we've developed a new product line, which essentially wraps up what we do in these really engaging in-person sessions, and makes it possible for a community to just plug and play the experience without having to send someone like myself, a facilitator, into the communities. So I'm excited to be sharing this with you now, Shri, because it is a new development for us. We are taking pre-orders now, so we sell again directly to these retirement communities, but they're able to even just get on to our website now and sign up to join this pre-order list. So it's a really exciting space to be in. We're really proud of what we've built so far, and we're just looking forward to keeping up the work, the good work, hopefully.
And Carleigh, what would your message be for teens who are aspiring to become innovators and leaders like yourself?
Yes, I think my biggest bottom line message to anyone listening is to highly consider entrepreneurship as your career path, as your life path, really. To me, in my opinion, and for what that's worth, um, entrepreneurship is the best way to creatively build the life you want to live while supporting your family. Um, and so that's all there is to it. I'm a young woman. I'm just out of college. I don't even have a background in technology, and I found myself as a woman in a male-dominated space. That just is what it is. Um, there's a lot of things stacked against me here, but we've found a way through Viva Vita to be successful, and we're growing faster every day. So, if I can do it, you can too. And to the audience, you know what you're good at, so just chase that. Just build something around that. If the business side of things is not your strong suit, there are plenty of resources to help you with that. Um, but especially when you're young, there's lots of room to make mistakes. So just think about it, try it, and build that life you want to live. That would be my biggest piece of advice. Um, Pretty much indefinitely, yes.
Carleigh, thank you so much for the service you are providing to our seniors and to our community. And thank you so much for your time today and answering all of our questions.
Thank you so much for having me, Shri. It was wonderful to speak with you and to your audience.